Yeah, bro, sounds good. Hello, and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 115. It is first day of the week, aka the Vulcan Raven workout. Today, feeling pretty decent. Left shoulder hurts a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Car sounds like it's carring. Everything else pretty good. On my way to the gym with a little bit of an excitement because I have not only one, but two other people joining me today. I don't know if we're gonna work out all together, but we are gonna work out at the same time. So that is that. One of them is already there. I think the other one hopefully is on the way, hopefully. But yes, so today's subject matter is about that, really. It's just about going to the gym with other people, gym buddies. And I think I'll discuss a little bit of the previous way I used to go to the gym and then how I went after, and now some things have changed. So I'll start with this. So when I first started going to the gym, I did not go by myself. I started going with my brother. Me and my brother used to go all the time. That was what we used to do. We used to be like, we'd go either after he get off of work or before he worked, or it just depended on like a holiday or something like that. So we'd go together, we'd go 3 days a week, and then he moved. And when he moved to the point where we worked out. He'd come over to where I live, and then we go to the gym near here. And then after a while, he moved again. And once he moved again, he moved to a place that has a gym right next to it. So, and it happened to be the same one we were going to anyway. So we ended up being able to just go there easily, nothing too crazy. So then we went there after, and then we started doing that. So I'd go to his place to go to the gym. So that was always what we used to do, and it was always one of those things that even back in the day I didn't develop the strength to go on my own, which was a little bit of an issue, I guess I would say. But that we'll probably get more into the voiceover later, like about that. But to go back a little bit, we used to go and we would just keep going until 2020 when happened, and then we ended up stopped going. Obviously they closed it down, and then he stopped going to the gym, but that was just because he had entered fatherhood, so understandable to say the least. And I joined back because I wanted to not be fat, but I also don't have to deal with that, so I have a little bit more free time than he does. He still does some running, so shout out Nelson. He does some running and stuff. He does a lot of running in comparison to how much cardio I do, which is buck all, you know, so there is that. But it's been a while since I've been to the gym with him. Would like to go with him sometime soon. It'd be just nice to do something again with him weightlifting wise, because it's been years for him. It was definitely something where I did enjoy those times that we'd go together. It was one of those things that is nice if you ever are like a bigger person and you want to go to the gym, to have somebody else to kind of encourage you to go as well. I feel like that helped out a lot, especially at the beginning, you know, the days that, you know, you don't want to go kind of, but you have your friend or partner try to go with you, goad you into being like, ah, come on, bro, you know, that entire thing. It definitely helped out a lot. Like that without a doubt helped cement the entire idea of going to the gym on a regular basis. So there is a little bit of a difference later, which I'll discuss a little bit later, where going by yourself type of deal, because it's definitely like a you versus you type thing. But when you're with somebody else, it's hard to disappoint the other person. So it's like, I can't go because of, I don't know, X, Y, or Z. But if it's like a bullshit X, Y, or Z, you know, it's like, damn, am I really going to do this to them? Because if they haven't established the entire, like, being the ability to go solo, that becomes a whole thing where it's like you're codependent on them, which isn't good. But it's definitely not bad at the beginning, because when you're at the beginning, you kind of have to develop the consistency first together, and then you can go off on that. But we'll get into details on the inside. All right, so start this day off with dips, which were pretty nice. I enjoyed them. But anyways, to get back to the main subject matter here, let's start with the codependency of going to the gym with someone. Can be good or bad. It is truly a double-edged sword. At the beginning, it can be really, really good, especially if you are going with someone
who is just as equally as determined as you, or maybe a little bit more so than you, because then that way they can help you, encourage you when you're feeling not as up for it. And I think that was what was really beneficial for me at the very beginning with me and my brothers, that we were both like super into the idea of going to the gym. So we were both like, yeah, let's do it. So we just kept going and going and going and going. So it ended up becoming something where not only did I have someone to hang out with at the gym, but we were doing it together all the time, and we were both encouraging each other. So I was very, very happy about that. And it made it so it was the first like cycle of it. I would say like the first like year, I would say, of going was great because it was just nonstop. There was no bullshitting around. We would both encourage each other to go. There was no worrying about like, will the other one not go, all that other stuff. We would just be like, we'd go together basically is what I'm trying to get at. And because of that, there was no faltering. I always felt like if I'm not going for some bullshit reason, I'm giving him some bullshit, you know what I mean? And the other way around too, I know that. So that was the big thing for that. But that was the issue as well, is that there were times where life did get in the way, and for some reason I couldn't go or he couldn't go. And he was good enough to be able to go on his own. I was not. That was my issue, was that I found the codependency very comforting. So because of that, I couldn't really go by myself. I felt like I was weird, and it was like, what am I doing here? You know, people are gonna look at me, you know, that entire, like, I was very self-conscious about it. I wasn't very my own person at that moment at the gym. And it was one of those things that I didn't really learn to do until later, which we'll get to. That's the downside of being like, to go with someone to the gym. That is the codependency issue at the end of the day, is that you are kind of dependent on them rather than building up your own independent self to go. And I think there is like a level of like, at a certain point, you're gonna have to develop that on your own, but not necessarily waver off of going with your buddy or whoever you go with entirely, but more so like occasionally come in by yourself to kind of get that a little bit of experience by yourself and not be so codependent on the person. So then that way, if something happens, because life happens all the time, things happen where people can't go to the gym because other shit just gets in the way, that is whatever. So it's better to slowly temper that into your routine, and then, you know, you can still keep going with the person, but occasionally just be like, all right, we're gonna go at different times just so we can, you know, get kind of used to it, just so you're not too locked in with each other. Even if it is like a partner or somebody like that, that is like somebody you see all the time, lives with you, whatever, you never know what sort of life circumstances might come up where they might not be able to go. Even just something as simple as sickness might make it so you can't go, and then you're kind of stuck there with your thumb up your ass not being able to go. I think that was my issue, and that was the issue that I felt that I didn't develop that. And it wasn't until I started working out alone at home, but also until after I came back, because I had no real option when I came back after the prolonged break because of world events. I had to come back by myself because my brother was busy with life, and just I didn't want to have to go all the way over to his house in order to go to the gym. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go by myself. So that started the entire me going by myself and getting that confidence and ability to go without really being self-conscious about it. And it is something that does take a little bit to get used to, but it definitely was nice. And once you develop that skill, you can go to any gym anywhere at any time and just really do what you need to do and then get out of there. And now I've reached a point where I have other friends that are starting to come and join the gym. During the background of the shrugs that just happened, if you go back, you can actually see one of my friends, Walter. Shout out, Walter. Who is probably also going to be in the thumbnail, because why not? That'll be a little bit funny. But he's joined the gym, and that is something where I'm like, all right, cool. Like, this is somebody that eventually, once they get their bearings under them in a little bit, we can probably start doing workouts together as time progresses and stuff like that, which is great, because then it's like, all right, this changes up the dynamic a little bit that I used to have, where I was just going alone, all alone, nothing too crazy, and doing this series. Now it's like, all right, now I got a different dynamic where I have a friend and possibly a third one coming, hopefully, if we can get this guy to come into the gym, but that's a whole other story for a whole other day. if these two guys, you know, like once they get acclimated, because it's all about acclimation, but once they get acclimated, it's a trio, and then that's a whole system of things, you know, like just like supersets after supersets, you know, things like that. And it changes slightly the dynamic of like your programming and all that other stuff. But I feel like as long as it's not too changed from the general gist of what you're doing, you can kind of work around it. And I kind of like the idea of being able to go back and forth on certain things and be able to do certain lifts that I wouldn't do without somebody there, like bench and things like that, because I would want that safety net of somebody being there. And that was the one thing I did miss about like not going with my brother and stuff, is that I don't have that like camaraderie or chatting with somebody that's just there. It has been replaced via reading, which is fine, but you know, it's always nice to have somebody around.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. And we're back. Hello and welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed, none. Exercises skipped, also none. Got everything in today, and I am very happy about that. It is relatively early. It's not that early, but still early enough from when I usually go out, so got to get home and get ready to do some job stuff, aka I have an interview after this. But anyways, we'll see how that goes. But let me get back to the main subject matter at hand, working out with friends. So yes, one of the two friends ended up showing up, and he joined the gym. Yes, shout out Walter. If you're watching this, shout out. The other friend did not show up. He texted right when I was finishing up. I could have told him to come anyway, but he should come tomorrow, or if not, we are going to be knocking on doors and busting down doors. I don't know why. I thought I was going to rhyme something doors with something. Whores, maybe? I don't know. But anyways, with that being said, I am looking forward to having both of them come to the gym. You know, hopefully the three of us can work out randomly. Right now, it is setting a precedent for one of them to just come. You know what I mean? He's a true newbie, so just making sure that he comes consistently, and that's really what matters for him. The other one, Walter, shout out. He's been to the gym before, so it's just getting back into the groove of things, really, for him. So that's not a big deal in comparison, but they will probably show up eventually in the series randomly here and there, maybe in the background, maybe doing some of the workouts with me, who knows. I'll have to wait and see. It all just depends. I don't know if I'll sit there and talk into the camera and all that other stuff with them, because I'm not a big fan of doing that at the gym. It feels like, all right, I'm already intrusive enough with recording. I think being even more intrusive with talking to the, hey guys, what's going on? Science-based training, you know what I mean, is a little too much. So I'd rather just hold off on that. Maybe you'll pick up on a conversation piece or two if anything happens, but that's only if that happens. But the main point right now is to get these guys, you know, acclimated, well, particularly one of them acclimated and more into the routine of coming to the gym at a semi-frequent basis, you know what I mean? As long as it is consistent and he keeps going, that's all that really matters. But with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about basically if working out with somebody, if you've ever had a gym partner, if you've never had a gym partner, what was that like? If you work out from home, the differences between working out from home and then working out at a commercial gym, because I know that sounds like a weird thing, but a lot of people like to work out at home because they don't have to worry about having other people around, but they also don't have another person to be with, so that is the trade-off, the ultimate trade-off. But having somebody can be great for certain exercises, depending, you know. Personally, I like to bench with someone else. I've done it before without anybody else, but I personally like it with somebody else just because I feel like I can go a little bit harder because I don't have to worry about dying. So there's that. But with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thank you again very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace!